Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. Today is a video I should have made like a week ago at least, but I'm running behind. I think you guys can understand why. I'm about to go through a major career change and my house was damaged recently in one of our terrible storms, a hailstorm, windstorm that we had a couple weeks ago. So I have just been incredibly busy in my real life outside of YouTube. So thank you guys for being so patient, and today we are going to be doing April Roundup. This is going to be all the makeup that I tried in the month of April. I'm going to revisit it, speed review it for you guys, let you know what I've been thinking of it, because I've definitely tried it all outside of YouTube. I've worn it several times, and I'm ready to give you guys kind of like my final thoughts on these products. I will have as much as I can linked and listed in the description box. You guys have seen this look go up already. It is using the Unearthly Cosmetics Don't Be Jelly palette. I'll have that video linked in the description box as well in case you want to check it out. So if you guys want to hear all about all of the makeup that I tried in the month of April and how it's been doing, keep on watching. So I wish you guys could see what I see right now in front of me, because I have mountains and stacks and piles of so much stuff. Let's start first with something I bought and also received in PR, and we're going to talk about the Blend Bunny blush palette. So I did receive Juicy Cheeks in PR along with two of their new lip oils, which I don't have the lip oils in front of me, but I have been enjoying the lip oils. I have been reaching for them. I bought Bare Cheeks on my own, but guys, these blush palettes are beautiful. I've worn them both several times since initially filming with them. I mean, these are gorgeous. They're pigmented. They're all matte blushes, and they're all so versatile, wearable. I like just mixing around and using like 2-3 different blushes and just, you know, letting my brush go where it needs to. But I've had such a good experience. Between the two, Juicy Cheeks is my favorite. So I love it. The yellow, the orange, all of it, the purple. I just think it's so much fun. If you haven't tried these palettes out, I do believe they are in stock right now on the Blend Bunny Cosmetics website. Highly worth adding to your stash. Next up is the Melt Electrip palette. So I've heard people saying that, you know, some gripes and complaints. Look, at the end of the day, we can't please everybody, right? Not everybody is gonna love all of the makeup that comes out, and I totally understand that, and trying to please everybody is just insane, the definition of insanity. But I have to say, I didn't have a bad experience with this. I've used this several times since initially filming with it. I even did an Instagram reel, a YouTube short with it. I genuinely like the way this palette performs. I didn't notice any patchiness. I thought the shimmers were great. I mean, I'm maybe one of the few, I don't know, but who has not experienced a bad Melt Cosmetics palette. And I know people have said, well, this one is no good, but this one is fantastic. Like, they're not as consistent as they need to be. I feel like I've gotten good palettes time after time. So I think Electrip is definitely a nice palette that embodies some cool, some warm, definitely more warm tone leaning, but you don't have to just create colorful looks. You can definitely do some more neutral looks. I love that we're getting that matte brown, that dark brown in there. I just think it's a pretty palette. I genuinely like it. I don't notice any issues with it, and for me, Melt Electrip, getting a thumbs up. Let's talk about a brand and a palette that has made probably one of the best first impressions ever in my stash, and that is this one from Artitude Cosmetics. This is the Man Eater Untamed palette. This was my very first time trying this brand out. I did order this myself. This palette just blew me away. I love the combination of the mattes and shimmers. I think it is just very well balanced, and you can create neutral looks, colorful looks, even grungy looks with this one. I just think it's so well thought out, and it's a very affordable price point. Even for me, this is a UK based indie makeup brand, by the way, but even for me to get it over here in South Texas, like, you know, I loved everything about this. I will say the shipping did take a little bit of time. That was probably the only bad part about this palette, but that is not the palette's fault. The palette performs so, so well. I think it is the perfect size without being too big or too small. It's just that happy medium. And I've had such a good experience with it. Artitude Cosmetics Man Eater Untamed palette. Fabulous. Let me know if you have this one. Have you been enjoying it as much as I have? So a couple more palettes that have made an amazing first impression are these right here from Moira Beauty. And this was part of like their carnival collection that they released about maybe a month and a half ago. I picked up both palettes that were in this collection. It was a bundle, and I think this bundle retails for $35 or $38. Very affordable, as are all Moira Beauty products are. This first palette is Magic Dreaming palette, and I have I think 3 looks up with each of these palettes, or 2 looks, I forget, but I did a dedicated video over both of these palettes and a couple other things that I picked up from Moira Beauty. This is the one that I think is going to be more neutral leaning. When I get to the other one, you'll see why, but this can definitely go both ways. I love the formula. I feel like this formula is different than some of their previous palettes, and I like that. I like that because I think the formula, it just feels different. It feels like it's a step up. I feel like it's a little bit better quality. Not that I really had an issue with any of their other palettes, but I see and feel a difference with these palettes. Love the color story on this one. This next one is Fun is in the Air. This is going to be for all you colorful makeup lovers out there. If you love working with neon shades, I am definitely going to recommend using a white base when you work with these shadows, because that's really going to make them pop. This particular palette, not necessarily this one, but using a white base will really make, you know, the neon blue and yellow, orange, pink. I know it doesn't really come across on camera as neon, but trust me, when you look at it in person, you're seeing neon orange, you're seeing neon yellow. It's just beautiful. From the shimmers to the mattes, I think Moira did such a cute job with this entire collection. Like, just the way, like, everything that they included, how it came packaged and everything, I thought it was really well thought out. And I'm here to tell you guys, for me in my stash, Moira Beauty is the new BH Cosmetics. I loved BH Cosmetics for so, so long, but, you know, I've seen a huge difference since they've been bought out by Makeup Revolution, and I'm not really excited about the brand anymore. I'm more excited about Moira. Definitely a brand we're checking out, about the similar price point as BH Cosmetics. And for those of you in Texas, you can find Moira Beauty in some of your local H-E-B supermarkets. So that's an even bigger bonus. So next up is the e.l.f. and American Eagle collaboration. Let me just tell you, the makeup bag, which only came if you bought the entire collection was $50. I have been using this so much. Like, I love this thing. I think this is one of the best parts about the collection, to be honest. And I really wish they would have sold this on its own, because I know it would have been a major seller. Like, it would have sold out like that. But also in the collection were, of course, an eyeshadow palette, which this is supposed to be like the jean tag on it. But when you open it up, I love the color story. I love blue and brown together. I've said that so many times on my channel. I think it is just such a nice, neutral, but still a little bit colorful of a color combination. And this palette left me a bit disappointed. Some of these shades right here that are supposed to be like that marble effect type of shade just didn't perform that well. The mattes were pretty decent, which is good because you need good mattes to anchor a palette with, but the shimmers I felt were a little bit lackluster. So, you know, this was just okay. I wouldn't beat yourself up if you didn't get to buy this collection. I have been enjoying the little lip balm. It's blue, but it doesn't come out blue. It's a clear lip balm, but it's been really nice. I leave it up here on my filming desk whenever I need to hydrate my lips in between, you know, filming and whatnot. Again, I think my favorite part about the collection has got to be the makeup bag, but I thought this was a cute collection that totally made sense. Elf is an affordable makeup brand. American Eagle is a relatively affordable line of denim and just, you know, all types of clothing. And to me, the collaboration made a lot of sense. And, you know, I don't mind that the palette didn't perform exceptionally well. That's what I'm here for, to try it out so that you guys don't have to. But if you were able to get this collection, definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. What have you been thinking about the palette? What do you think about the little makeup bag? Have you been using it as much as I have? Let me know. So another palette that made a fantastic first impression in my stash is this one right here from Ladybug Glow Cosmetics. This is their Galaxia Magica palette. This palette is beautiful. I don't think this is currently in stock. I do have a code with them. I was kindly sent this in PR. My code is Steff or Steff10. It'll give you 10% off of your order. This palette performs beautifully. The matte shades, the shimmers, they all have those beautiful shifts in them. It's just a really well thought out palette. I had a good experience with this one. If you've never tried Ladybug Glow before, they are a very small indie makeup brand. They are sold on Etsy, but I've been loving what they've been doing lately. Their mermaid palette, no, Murky Waters palette, fantastic. I have that on the shelf behind me. That is an 8-pan palette, and if you can find it in stock, grab it, because that was my first experience with them. I bought that palette after seeing one of my friends here on YouTube create a couple looks with it, and I was sold. This, after I reviewed it and everything, the team at Ladybug Glow reached out to me and they wanted to send me, you know, their next palette and then their next palette. They got a lot of newness coming up. You got to stay tuned to Ladybug Glow Cosmetics, but Galaxia Magica is definitely a winner. Another palette that I was sent in PR is this one right here from Bella Beauty Bar. This is their Pastel Garden palette. Now, you guys just saw me create several different looks with their new Smoky Glam palette, which is exactly the same size and shape as this one. This, though, is for all of you pastel lovers out there. Now, I've told you guys this several times before. Pastels are not exactly my thing, but I was still happy to review this palette and create looks for you all, because Bella Beauty Bar is definitely one of my favorite indie makeup brands, and I just love supporting them. And thank you so much, Bella Beauty Bar, for sending this my way. I do have a code with them. Again, I forget if it's Steff10 or Steff. I'll put it down here. It's either or, guys. Usually all my codes are either Steff or Steff10, and they're always in the description box anytime you need a code to save some money. Who doesn't want to save money right now? But this is a really nice palette from the brand. I don't know if it's still in stock or if it has since sold out. It was released in April, but you know, for being someone that doesn't particularly go for pastels, I was still able to create what I thought were some beautiful looks. The palette performed really well. All of the mattes, all of the shimmer shadows, they have a really nice formula, and I really love like the faux leather packaging. This is the same thing that they did for Smoky Garden, except a different color. But if you are a huge fan of pastel palettes and you're just looking for that one and done pastel palette to add to your stash, this would definitely be one that you should check out. So here's a palette that I picked up, and when I did my video with it, like the palette just disappeared from the Ulta website, and now all of a sudden the palette has returned, I think within the last week or two. And I'm talking about this one from MAC. I don't try a lot of MAC products on my channel, not because I don't want to or don't like them. It's just, well, nothing really catches my eye until this one came out. This is their Connect and Color eyeshadow palette. Hi-Fi color is what it says in the back. And here we go with this 12-pan color story. So this is in stock right now online at Ulta, and some of you have said that you've started seeing them pop up in stores. I had got, when I ordered this, I also ordered the 4 6-pan palettes that were released alongside this. And then when I released my video on this palette, because I filmed with this one first, and I saw that they were all gone from the Ulta website, I was like, well, why would I make a video about something that you can't even get? Like, it was nowhere to be found. And so I started thinking, well, Ulta probably made a mistake and put it on their website before they should have. And then, you know, so I waited about a week and I never filmed with the 4-pan palette. I never even opened them. I didn't take them out of the box. And I wasn't seeing them come up. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to return them. I'm not going to film something and take time editing and all that if you can't even buy it, like if it's not even going to be available. And now all of a sudden they're available. So I'm sorry, I didn't get to film with those. I didn't want to touch them. I didn't want to open them. I wanted, you know, just to return them, you know, in the same condition that I received them. But this one I did film with, and I'm glad that it's already available because it actually performs pretty well. Like, I don't know why I wasn't expecting it to perform great, but it really does. Like, if you're looking for a rainbow palette or you're just looking for a colorful palette and you're a diehard MAC fan, then this is definitely something that you should add to your stash. I don't know why, I guess I was kind of maybe expecting it to be a little too powdery, a little too chalky, and it really wasn't. It really is a decent performing palette, and if you lay a white base down, since this is such a colorful palette, you're definitely going to get that ultimate pigmentation, the payoff that you are wanting from these colorful shadows. More eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I tried a lot of eyeshadow palettes in April, but next up are these three that I also picked up from Ulta online, and they are from JCat. So these palettes, some of you have told me that they'd been on the JCat website already for a while before they initially launched on the Ulta website, and then some of you started telling me that you saw these pop up like in Ross and TJ Maxx. I mean, I assumed they were new because they were new at Ulta, so my fault for not checking the JCat website or staying up to date. But nevertheless, I am still happy that I purchased these because these are fantastic palettes. So this one is Storm Stimulation. Look at this color story. Beautiful. I think I encountered, was it with this palette? I think it was this purple shadow. I think it was only this purple shadow that gave me a little bit of issues, and that was it. But sometimes purples are like that, and it's across all palettes, all brands. Sometimes purples are a little finicky. You kind of just have to be gentle with them and maybe even use another shadow to blend them out from time to time. But other than that, this palette performed really well. Love the color story on it. This one over here, the Traffic palette, this is going to be a little bit brighter, a little bit more purple pink leaning, and this was a nice one too. The shimmer shadows all perform really well. I do recommend spraying your brush after you pick up your shimmer shadows just to get that ultimate payoff. But really nice color story. These palettes retail for $15 a piece. This is a Jungle Roar palette. This is a more neutral leaning palette of the three, and this is a great year-round palette. I think this color story just definitely can take you through season after season. I love the greens, you guys know that, and I thought that this palette performed really well. These are all available. Last time I checked on the Ulta Beauty website, I don't think they're available in stores, but you can also find them on the JCat website, and like some of you said, maybe in your local TJ Maxx stores. Next up are makeup brushes, and I tried two different sets, actually no, three. You'll see the other set in a second, but I tried three different sets of makeup brushes in the month of April. This set right here from What's Up Beauty was kindly sent to me in PR, and this is their extension to their pre-existing brush eye brush set, and this brush set is all natural hair brushes. So this does come with a bit of a higher price tag. I want to say all of these brushes, this set right here retails for about $100 maybe. There might be a discount code. I don't have one with them. I don't have like an affiliate link or anything with them, but they do oftentimes run sales at What's Up Beauty. So they sent me this brush set, and clearly I've been using them. I've been enjoying them. I like all of the sizes and the shapes that they included. And I'm sorry, I'm showing you dirty brushes, but I kind of did that on purpose so that you can see that I'm really enjoying them and I'm using them. And you guys have seen me use these in some of my more recent videos. Natural hair brushes, and I think they perform really great. I bought 2 sets of the Singe beauty brushes. Singe Beauty is owned by Angelica, who is a fellow content creator here on YouTube. I'm sure you guys know who she is. Gorgeous YouTuber, does beautiful, colorful makeup looks, and she started her new brand and launched with this 5-piece eye brush set. I have really been enjoying them. The other set that I bought was for a giveaway. So I kept one, gave away the other, and I couldn't be more happy with these brushes. These are synthetic hair brushes that are supposed to mimic how natural hair brushes apply eyeshadow. So I love that. I've been able to use all of these different shapes and sizes. I think this was a nice way for Angelica to launch Singe Beauty, and I can't wait to see what's in store for the brand. Now let's go back real quick to What's Up Beauty, because they also sent me this palette, Desert Monsoon, and I thought this was a new palette. This had actually been out for a while. I had no idea. I thought it was new since they were sending it along with the new brushes, but my mistake. This had been a pre-existing palette in their lineup for quite some time, but this is a beautiful palette. I love the size. I love the color story. These shimmers, like duochromes and stuff, they all perform so well, as do the matte shades. It's a nice neutral palette without being too neutral. You do get a little mirror over here, and I love this. Now, speaking of that other brush set that I did try in the month of April, this is from my Temu TryOn Haul, and TryOn Haul number 2, because I've already done a couple of videos where I've collaborated with Temu, and they've sent me so much stuff. Like, I get to pick. They give me the link. They say choose what you want, all the way up to like a certain dollar amount. I never get close to that dollar amount they have allotted for me because it's just too much. Like, it's just too much to try out. But these brushes, these are like a taupe handle with the rose gold up here at the top. These brushes are really good, and they're like $7. Like, nothing in my Temu TryOn hauls have been over $8, and look at all the brushes that you're getting. You get a complete set of makeup brushes. I thought that those brushes performed so well. In my first Temu TryOn haul, I had picked up a set of brushes, and oh no, they were not good. Another thing I've been loving from that haul has been this little skinny eyebrow pencil. This one is in the shade soft brown. No, it's called soft brow. But what shade did I get? Oh no, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. But it's just, it has a spoolie on one end. It's like one of those little micro brow pencils. And I use this, and I use a brow marker. Usually the NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen to draw in like little hair-like strokes. And that's how I do my brows. From that haul, that Temu haul, these lipsticks right here, beautiful. These were selling out so fast. I want to say there was like 7 different shades to choose from, but these lipsticks, they last. I'm gonna put them on the back of my hand, and they had really beautiful colors to choose from. This is gonna be the darkest one from what I picked up. They feel good. They're more of like a soft matte formula. And then this last one is going to be like a nude pink. Very comfortable, very wearable. Ignore this other swatch over here. That's an eyeshadow I was trying out. But yeah, I've been loving these from the Temu haul. Another item I was just totally blown away with in that Temu TryOn haul were these diamond highlighters right here. These highlighters are stunning. I think there was like 3 or 4 different shades. I picked up the white and the pink. Beautiful, beautiful, smooth highlighters, no glitter, just beautiful shimmer. I mean, these rival high-end highlighters, no joke. I also picked up this little palette right here, and these are all different creams that you can use to sculpt and just highlight, and use them as concealer because it says it's a concealer palette. Use it as contour, bronzer, whatever you need to use it at. But I thought that this was a really nice formula, and it did last all day long. I mean, this was like $5, and I know you guys have seen something similar at Sephora, and I think that palette is like $50. So if you're on a budget, I'm just saying, Temu has some winners over there. Take a look at it. Try a couple things out. If you don't like them, send them back, because they do have that 90-day free return policy. So I can honestly tell you guys that 95% of the items that I've got from Temu have all worked, and they've all worked really well. I mean, you know, to each their own with this brand, with this company. I realize it's not for everybody. I understand, but I'm just saying, for me, my perspective, my point of view, if you need affordability in your life and you're not able to pay the high price tags that are at Sephora and Ulta and all the department stores, then this is going to give you that look for less. So next up is the latest mascara from Fenty Beauty, and this is the Hella Thicc mascara. I picked up a mini size of their original mascara, and between the two, I'm gonna have to go to the new one. I think the new one just performs so well. It lasts all day. I don't notice any flakes with this one. I don't notice any smearing or smudging. What I notice are my beautiful lashes. They are separated. They're elongated, like I need length to my lashes. I've been a Revitalash lash user for many years. In case you're ever wondering, I always keep a write-up about my lash journey in the description box, so you guys feel free to check that out. But this Hella Thicc mascara from Fenty is a winner, and I'm very happy I added it to my stash in April. Now in April, I picked up the latest shade in the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder, and it is the Cherry Blossom Cake shade. I love it. I've been seeing, like, you guys, we've talked about this before, because I talked about this in one of my more recent videos, talking about, you know, different makeup trends that I really don't understand or don't necessarily like. But the blush under the eye, the liquid cream blush going on under the eye, that's meant to like brighten and give sort of like a softness to the overall complexion. So I'm not really on board with putting blush under my eyes. If that's what you love to do, go for it. That works for you, great. For me, I was more curious about a setting powder that had maybe a little bit of a pink tone to it. I thought that would be a nice way to kind of try the trend without going all in. So this powder made perfect sense. I have the original, the translucent version, and I've always enjoyed that powder. Like, that powder works for me. I'm a normal to oily skin type, oily primarily in my T-zone. The powder works great, as does this one, and I really like this one. I think it's a little bit more blurring under the eye area, and that could be because of the shade, but I have found that I've been reaching for this. I've been enjoying it, and let me know if you have this shade, and maybe you have some of the other shades. Which do you think works best for you? I'll say that I think I'm more on board with this Cherry Blossom shade than I am with the translucent one. All right, we only have a few things left, and one of the items, which I hate to say this, I don't know where it is, so I'm gonna put a picture of it right here, is the new Lethal Cosmetics palette. I don't know where I put it. It's here. It's not gone. It is somewhere in my stash. It's probably on the dining room table where everything seems to end up. But this is a beautiful pastel palette again. But I felt like I got a little bit more depth with this one than maybe what I got with the Bella Beauty Bar palette, the Pastel Garden. I love Lethal Cosmetics. I think they have and have been improving upon their eyeshadow formula for the last year and a half now. Like, I can really see a difference. And last year around this time, they released the Night Flower, is it Night Flower? Yeah, Night Flower palette. And so if this new palette is not really calling your name and you haven't checked out the palette from last year, then go with that one, because that made one of my top palettes of 2022. And so this new one, I love the color story, but I know they were selling them as a bundle to where you can get both palettes together, and I think that's a great idea because I think they are beautiful complements to one another, and I myself have enjoyed them both. I think the formula is fantastic. If you've never tried Lethal, try their eyeshadow palettes, try their blushes and highlighters, and their cream gel liners. Those gel liners are absolutely amazing, and they stay in the waterline all day long. Those are definitely the items that I would recommend if you're here in the US, because Lethal Cosmetics is a German-based indie makeup brand. But if you're here in the US, you can now find Lethal Cosmetics at Camera Ready Cosmetics. Alright guys, we only have a few things left, and in the month of April, I tried out several different makeup setting sprays that contain SPF. So my ride or die for a number of years now has been this one from Somerville. This is her UncompliKated SPF makeup setting spray. It has SPF 50 in it. This is pretty pricey. This is going to be between $40 and $50, and in here you get 3.4 ounces of product. I like to get this when it goes on sale. This can, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get on sale, but this has always worked for me and my normal to oily skin without making my makeup cake up and making me excess oily, as some makeup setting sprays that contain SPF can do. And I know a lot of us, as we're coming into the hotter months, summer months, we're spending more times outdoors, we're going on vacation, or even just driving during your lunch break or on your way home from work or going to work in the morning, you're wondering, how can I refresh my SPF during the day if I already have a full face of makeup on? And something like this is going to be the answer to your prayers. Now, I don't know, some of you asked me in that video, well, Steph, how do I know if I'm spraying enough on? I can't answer that question for you. I'm just gonna have to leave it up to your best judgment. But I'm a firm believer that something is better than nothing. So even just a little bit of SPF protection is better than not having anything at all. So this one was my holy grail that I compared the rest of them to, and what I found that was pretty much identical to that one is a very much more affordable option at $15, the latest one from Pixi, and this is their SPF 50 Sun Mist. You're getting a ton more product in here. You're getting 6 ounces of product versus 3.4 ounces of product over here. This retails for $15, not $50. $15. It has been sold out at my local Target for a while, but this is an SPF that you can use on your face. You can use it before makeup application, after makeup application, to touch up during the day. You can also use this for your body, but I thought that this performed so well. I was not left with excess oiliness by the end of the day. Makeup was not caking up. Like, it did not compromise the integrity of my makeup, especially the foundation and concealer and powder. I thought that this did a fantastic job, and for 15 bucks, I hope you guys are able to check this one out. I did order this straight from the Pixi website. Another setting spray that I tried out in that video was this one from the brand Vacation. I picked this one up at Ulta, and this is also an SPF 50 face mist. This is their super spritz. I didn't like the mister on this one, and I kind of felt like this added a little bit more, or attributed to more of my excessive oiliness at the end of the day, and I do feel like it kind of did leave my makeup looking a little bit cakey. So this was not one of my favorite ones, and I want to say this was like in the $20 to $25 price range. One that I did enjoy, and that's new to Sephora, is the Soleil Toujours SPF 30 Clean Conscious Set and Protect Micro Mist. It does have a nice mister on it. This did do a fairly good job of not making me excessive oily, and it did do a good job of just helping me refresh my makeup and just add that added SPF protection that I need during the day. But this is also, I think, the most expensive one. This had like a $42, $44 price tag. I unfortunately was not able to pick this up during the Sephora sale because that video came out, I think, like a day or two before the Sephora sale went live, so I had to pay full price for it. But I have been using it since, and I have been enjoying it. Another one that you can find both at Sephora and Ulta, but it's been sold out here and there, is this one from Kula, and this is their organic SPF 50. Actually, it says 70% organic SPF 50 classic face mist sunscreen. It says it's going to be non-greasy, that's going to provide lightweight hydration, and it also has plant protection in it. This is also going to be about $38, $40. The mister on this one is okay. I would say between them all, the ones that are going to have the best misters are the aerosol sprays versus the ones with your more traditional type of mister. But this one did a fairly good job. I put this one, the way I ranked them in that video was I kept my Kate Somerville at number 1, but a very close number 2 was the Pixi. Coming in third was the Soleil Toujours. Coming in fourth was this one from Kula, because I did notice, you know, my makeup didn't look that perfect by the end of the day, but it wasn't absolutely terrible. And then I felt like the vacation one just really didn't, kind of just missed the mark for me. So if you're looking for something to refresh your SPF during the day, I hope that some of these you can add to your stash, at least one of them. You don't need more than one. Just get one that's going to work. My top 2 are Pixi and Kate Somerville, but if you're looking at Sephora, then you're definitely going to be able to find both of these at Sephora, the Kula and the Soleil Toujours, and either one would be worth adding to your stash. Alright guys, I got 2 more items to share with you. So in the month of April, Alter Ego released I'm taking it out of the box because I kept it in the box. They released their Coastal palette, and this is their inspired palette, inspired by the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. So if you were never able to pick up Rose Quartz, which I understand, that comes with like a $68 or $70 price tag, this one over here comes with like a $20 price tag, something like that, and I do have a code. It is Steff or Steff10. I'm so sorry, but you could use my code to take 10% off of your order. I thought that this performed really well, and one of you just told me, I just responded to your comment like a day or 2 ago, that you use this shade because this shade right here is like that glossy shade, but you use this alongside some of the other shades to create a gel liner with. So I thought that that was a really nice idea because I never would have thought about that. But I mean, if the Huda palette Rose Quartz, if you were never able to pick it up, this is an amazing alternative. The quality is there, the performance is there. I just reviewed their new Midsummer palette. That one is less expensive at $17. That is a beautiful palette as well. That one is inspired by the ABH Nouveau palette. This one is inspired by Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. And you know, guys, let's face it, things are not getting any cheaper. I mean, some things are, I can see them coming down in price, but I have noticed, you know, an increase in price in cosmetics lately, at least over the past year. And if we can get something that is inspired or very similar to what the high-end brands are offering us, and we can get that at a fraction of a cost, you know, don't be afraid to try it out. And I have tried this brand. I've tried several of their palettes. This one was gifted to me in PR, and I think that this is a great alternative to Huda Beauty Rose Quartz. And last but not least was my most popular video in the month of April, and it was trying these new e.l.f. beauty, what are they called? Beauty wands, Halo Glow beauty wands. So they released contour shades, which I think only 2 shades are contour, and then the other 3 are bronzer shades. They released 4 different blush shades. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 4 different blush shades, which these just, to me, didn't have enough pigmentation in them. I think they're more blush toppers than actual blushes. And then they also released 3 different shades of highlighter. I would say out of all three products, the highlighters would be the ones to check out. These were my favorite, and I have reached for these a few times since filming with them. I've actually used all of the products. Everything that you've seen in this video, I have reached for since initially filming with them. But what I've loved most has been the highlighters. Now, these are supposed to be dupes, alternatives for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Glow Beauty one. I don't even know at this point what they're called. The puffer style blushes and highlighters and contours that Charlotte Tilbury has. This is e.l.f.'s response to that. I mean, these are not expensive. These are like $6 or $7 a piece. This shade right here, this shade is called Champagne. So it's a pretty shade. And this is actually the shade that I've reached for the most. But they all have that little puffer style applicator. You know, I was disappointed, I think, more so with the contour shades because there was only two that actually looked like contour, and it was the lightest one and it was the deepest one, and I'm going to swatch them out. So here is the deepest one, and I picked these up in store at my local Ulta. This is a nice shade. I'm glad that e.l.f. did such a deep shade of contour because we don't often see that. This is fair. This is the lightest shade. These are the only two shades that I actually feel are considered contour because, in my opinion, as well as the opinion of many others, contour is supposed to be matte and it's supposed to be cool to neutral in tone. And I feel these two shades are definitely that. The other three shades that they released are more bronzy than they are contour. So, you know, I was a little disappointed with that. I think I was most disappointed with the blushes overall. Some of them, you know, depending on, I don't know if it was the foundation I was wearing or what, but some of them, you know, they have looked patchy on me when I've been applying them. And I would say especially the contour shades. And I've been reaching mainly, because I don't really use a lot of contour. I do more bronzer than anything. So I've been reaching for those middle shades and using them as bronzer. But they're patchy. They do take some work and they don't look that great. So if you were wondering about these, if you were wanting to pick some up, I would recommend the highlighters. Maybe one of the blushes, but don't expect a lot of pigment from the blushes. If you need a dark or fair contour shade, then I think you'll find that these will perform well. It's just the shades in the middle of the contour, I really didn't, yeah, we can do without them. Let me know your thoughts though. If you pick these up, what are you liking or not liking about them? Alright guys, so that wraps up today's video. This was all the makeup that I tried in the month of April. It was a lot. It was a lot, but you know, some I bought, some I got in PR, and I'm always so thankful for the PR that is sent to me. I'm very appreciative of it. I never take it for granted. And you know, I want to try everything I can so that way you guys don't have to. But let me know what some of your hits and misses have been as of lately. What are some things that we need to add to our stash ASAP, or what are some things that we need to stay clear of? Sound off in the comments down below. And as usual with these videos, I will have my April playlist linked in a pinned comment so that you guys can check out all of the makeup that I hauled and tried in the month of April. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated guys, drink your water, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.